Good day, everyone. Have you ever read a poem and felt completely lost? The words seem easy, but the meaning feels hidden like a puzzle. Many students think poetry is about guessing the right answer, but that's not true. Poetry is not about guessing, it is about observing carefully. In today's video, I will guide you step by step on how to read a poem like a professor, using one famous sonnet to demonstrate three essential techniques. Let's begin with meter, the rhythm of poetry. Next, allusion, where hidden ideas and references enrich the text. Finally, subtext, the deeper meaning beneath the words. By the end of this lesson, you will not just read poetry, you will understand how it works. Let's begin with a simple question. What is close reading? Close reading means slowing down and paying attention to every detail in a poem. Not just what the poem says, but also how it says it, why it says it that way, and what it suggests indirectly. Normal reading is like reading for the story. Close reading, however, is reading for meaning, technique, and hidden layers. It is like using a microscope instead of just looking with your eyes. Now, let's practice this skill using a short sonnet. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a date. The first step is something many students ignore. Listen to the poem. Poetry is not just written, it is meant to be heard. This sonnet uses a rhythm called Iambic pentameter. Let's break that down in the simplest way. Iambic is a pair of syllables, unstressed plus stressed. Pentameter means 5 pairs of syllables in one line. So each line has 10 syllables with a heartbeat-like rhythm. Let's read one line slowly. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Now here is the important question. Why does this rhythm matter? Because rhythm creates feeling. It drives our emotions and responses. A smooth rhythm creates calm, balance, and beauty. Observe this smooth, flowing wave. In contrast, a broken rhythm brings tension and disturbance. This creates emotional impact. Now look at this line. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. The word rough feels heavy and harsh. It slightly disturbs the smooth rhythm. This is not accidental. The sound reflects the meaning. Rough winds. This evokes the harshness of nature. Notice the slight rhythmic disruption in the words. This mirrors the instability of the subject. Good readers and listeners always ask, what is the rhythm doing and why? Now let's move to the second step. Allusion and deeper meaning. Ask yourself, what does summer really mean here? Is it just a season? No. In poetry, words often represent ideas. Summer here suggests beauty, warmth, youth, life. But the poet says the beloved is better than summer. Why? Because summer has flaws. It is temporary, too short a date. And it is unstable, rough winds. So the comparison is not simple, it becomes philosophical. The poem is quietly talking about time, change, mortality in the fact that everything fades. This connects to a larger idea found in many literary works. Human beings want to defeat time. And here comes the key insight. The poet suggests that poetry itself can defeat time. That is the deeper illusion. The belief that art can make something immortal. Now we move to the most important level, subtext. What the poem is really saying beneath the surface. Let's explore the metaphors, emotional undercurrents. This reveals the poem's true depth. Let's first identify the surface meaning. The speaker is praising someone's beauty. Simple enough. But now look deeper. The poem also tells us nature is imperfect, time destroys beauty, everything fades. Then suddenly, in the final lines, the poem makes a powerful claim. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this and this gives life to thee. What does this mean? It means the poem itself. So the poet is saying this poem will live forever, and as long as it exists, the beloved will also live. Now we understand the real message. Poetry can preserve beauty forever. So the poem is not just about love. This poem contrasts time versus art and mortality versus immortality. The beloved does not live forever physically, but lives forever in language. That is the subtext. Let's turn this into a clear method you can use in exams or class. Step 1. Read aloud. Listen to the rhythm and tone. Step 2. Check the meter. Is it smooth or broken? Why? Step 3. Look at keywords. Do they suggest bigger ideas? Step 4. Ask deeper questions. What is the poem really about beyond deeper meaning and themes within the poem? Step 5. Identify the central message. What is the poet trying to prove or say? When you follow these steps, poetry becomes less confusing, more logical, and more meaningful. Now it's your turn. Take any short poem and ask yourself, what is the rhythm doing? What do the key images represent? What is the hidden message? Keep reading deeply, because the more closely you read, the more the poem reveals. If you found this lesson helpful, please subscribe for more literature lessons. Comment the name of a poem you want explained, and share this video with your classmates. Thanks for watching.